The UK Border Agency is at war with smugglers in the ports and airports.
You don't have to say anything.
Get that out of my face.
Coming up in Manchester, Az pulls over a tricky customer.
Do you understand you can't bring them into the country?
Now, I've got 10 guns in there, 4 seats.
OK, now, I hope you haven't. Are you listening to what I'm saying?
People smuggle more than chicken on a flight from Kiev.
Oh, I'm very sorry about that. Lots of people lose their sausages. She'll have to buy some English sausage now.
And when Diesel sniffs out some baseballs, a smuggler's plan is left ripped at the seams.
The actual stitching doesn't look too good on them. You can see there on the end of the knife, actually, it looks like a white powder.
In Manchester, a flight from Pakistan has just arrived at Terminal 2. Flight crews are also subject to regulations, and today UK Border Officer Liz is using a new thermal camera to search the pilot.
OK, that's fine. Could you just turn around and face the wall for me, please?
The pilot takes the new security measure in good spirits.
Do I get to see?
You can't, unfortunately. You can see me if you want.
He even wants to have a go himself.
Yeah. So I just...
It's all in monochrome, like, not colored.
No.
It's not colored.
No. OK.
So it's a thermograph kind of...
Yeah, it's a thermal imager.
So I'm cool?
You're cool to go, yeah.
The officers find nothing untoward on the crew, so turn their attentions to the passengers. Kevin spots a bag bulging with rectangular packages and tracks it into the channels. Inside, he finds well over the allowance of 200 cigarettes and wants some answers.
Are you here on holiday or are you working?
Yes, I'm on holiday.
On holiday?
Yeah.
On your own? Just you? Just you?
One. Just you,
No
one.
family?
Conveniently, the passenger doesn't understand.
Everything.
Who are the cigarettes for?
Cigarette?
Cigarettes. Them things on there? Who are they for?
He also doesn't seem to understand the law.
Sorry?
Sell.
They're for yourself?
Yes, I will.
All them are
not
for
for myself, for sell.
To sell?
Yeah.
You're going to sell them?
Yeah.
Who to? Who will you sell them to?
It's a surprising admission and against the law.
You don't
But
know?
the man's situation gets worse when Kevin discovers he works for the airline.
If it's a crew member is classed as a privileged person.
Yeah.
Now, if they're carrying excess amounts of cigarettes, over 1,000, well, they'd be arrested and we could prosecute them for it.
Right.
Now, this guy's got nearly 10,000 cigarettes. Comes to light now that the passenger is a member of staff. He works in Karachi, and as such, he's on a staff ticket. He's classed as a privileged person, which means he has to be arrested and prosecuted.
Kevin calls in the investigation team.
David, just let one of them know we've got a prisoner over at C2. Crew with cigarettes. Nearly 10,000. So just let them know we're going to have a prisoner in due course, but they're going to need a translator. We're about to do the arrest. We're just waiting for an Urdu speaking immigration officer to come down to facilitate that.
Kevin's keen eyes picked out the smuggler, and as he works for the airline, the man may be losing his job as well as his cigarettes. UK border officers in Dover face a 24-hour tide of trucks and cars. Smugglers use the sheer volume of traffic as a cover, and it's the job of the selectors to pick out vehicles to be searched.
There's a selector over the freight lane that has been selecting certain vehicles, and this vehicle here that we've intercepted today is in connection with a heroin job that they intercepted last week.
With information suggesting links to a previous heroin seizure, sniffer dog Millie and handler Nikki are brought in to speed up the search.
I've got a few of my colleagues having a look at the moment. There could be either a concealment space in there, or even better, a large quantity of money going outward bounds.
The driver isn't happy. Dealing with angry drivers is a daily hazard.
I don't have no rights. That's my home. I sleep around and let dogs fur all over my bed. Simple.
When the dog's downstairs, you can go in and have a look around. If you want to make a complaint,
I have dogs. Dogs walk with I let their own balls. They have no
The officers have the power, but they're trying to respect the man's wishes.
Well, if you're telling me you're going to put that dog on, I want her to say that you are allowed to. I am saying I do not want that dog to go on that dog.
Yeah, I mean,
It's my right, and I'm asking you not to put the dog in, and you're saying you are, by law, you can't, so I want you to give me a black and white. Is that fair?
That's fair. I can go and get you
Yeah. Listen, see dogs, we love dogs up. I have no bar with dogs. No problem with dogs.
Okay, well,
It's my pet.
I know
That's where I live.
what you're saying exactly. All right, just calm down a little bit.
With the information linked to a previous heroin job, the driver's reluctance to let Millie into his truck is raising suspicions.
The driver's obviously not too happy about the dog going in the cab, so we're just getting the forms to say that we are actually allowed to go in there.
As soon as I get this letter, then we can get on with it, hopefully.
If Millie finds drugs, dog hair on his pillow will be the least of the driver's problems. Back in Manchester, the Urdu interpreter has arrived. This smuggler caught with 10,000 cigarettes also works for an airline and is about to be arrested.
We've had a translator explain to him exactly what's happened. He's upset now because he's worked for the airline for 33 years. He thinks he now may be about to lose his job. But he's not only brought in nearly 10,000 cigarettes, which he's admitted he's going to sell. It's an offence. You can't do that, unfortunately.
As he's led away to be searched, the man's nerves get the better of him.
He wants to go to the toilet.
Not got anything in there, is in the ditch, is it? Yeah, just shut the door so he can go to the toilet. He wants to use the toilet, but because he's not been searched yet, he could have evidential stuff on him that he's trying to flush down the loop.
Cigarette smugglers aren't usually accompanied to the toilets. But during the search, officers do find something in his jacket, and the man's day goes from bad to worse.
A small package been found in the gentleman's pocket, and it looks like it could be drugs, possibly opium.
I think it's possibly cannabis resin. You get a particular type of resin in Pakistan. If it does turn out to be potentially drugs, yeah, it's cannabis. You see it's gone that red colour? So although he's been arrested for the cigarettes, he's now going to have to be arrested again for this.
Okay. Cannabis. Listen. It's now 12:06. I'm arresting you on suspicion of being knowingly involved in the importation of a controlled drug. You do not have to say anything. You may hold your defence if you do not mention when questioned, something which you later rely on in court. Do you understand?
Suddenly, the situation is crystal clear.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
With 2 crimes to answer for, the consequences could be serious, even for such small amounts.
3.5 grams.
Well, he's potentially going to lose his job if his airline is involved about the offences he's committed. For the importation of the cigarettes, if we do decide to prosecute, he could face a fine. And for the importation of the drug as well, you're looking at a compound penalty. So that again could be a fine. So he could be facing a couple of £100 fine and potentially lose his job as well, which I believe he's been in his job for 33 years. So a bit of a silly mistake to make this late in his career.
Back in Dover, the team are dealing with the driver who doesn't want the drug dog in his cab. But they've now found the rules that give them the power to search, with or without his permission.
26 and 27, that you can use a dog as a living tool.
Right.
So,
With the law on their side, the team can now get on with searching the truck.
What we'll do, we'll put the dog in now. Do you want to come and see us through stages? Okay.
The intelligence team selected this truck to be searched in relation to a recent heroin seizure. Sniffer dog Millie is looking for drugs or cash which may be connected to crime.
This guy's Irish. Recently we've had quite a few jobs from Irish vehicles coming into the country, largely being Class A.
Searching a massive truck like this can take hours, but sniffer dogs like Millie can do it in a matter of minutes.
Come on in. Millie.
With the cab search over, Millie checks the driver.
Okay, that's great, thank you. Good girl. No, I didn't get anything from that. Didn't go in the load because it's frozen meat, so just did the outside in the cab.
That's great, sir. Sorry about that. We've done with the dog now, so what I'll do...
If the driver didn't want Millie in his cab, he certainly doesn't want her in his trailer full of meat, and the officers decide to search it themselves. They find nothing, and the truck is free to go, for now.
Spoke to the selector. He's happy. He's got the paperwork, and he's going to evaluate it going out. Maybe stop it coming back in, but going out, perfectly happy with it. All right, sir, thanks very much for your time. Sorry to be a problem, there's your stuff. OK, this is the complaints, all right? If you're not happy, I've said that you've been compliant, you've been no problems at all. I've just said that you weren't happy with the dog going in, OK? OK, thanks very much for your time.
Lorry searches do take time, and the officers are well versed in dealing with drivers upset at the delay.
We do come across that, but we are actually allowed to go in the vehicle, so she didn't mark anywhere, she had clean feet.
As an insulted Millie ambles off, the driver leaves happily in his dog hair-free cab. Coming up, Az pulls over a tricky customer.
Do you understand you can't bring them into the country?
Now, I've got 10 guns in there, 4 seals.
OK, now. I hope you haven't.
Coming up,
Are they just giving you the price of the paper over there?
Yeah.
a surprisingly honest passenger is given a lesson in law.
You can't receive any payment. Do you know?
In Gatwick, it's not just passengers that might be smuggling drugs. In the freight area, UK border officer Lorna and sniffer dog Diesel are searching packages from Jamaica.
We're just over in the freight sheds and we're going to search some of the DHL courier mail.
Any of the thousands of packages a day passing through Gatwick could contain cocaine, so using the skills of the sniffer dogs is vital.
We come over here most days and there are quite a lot of detections found over here, so it's a good area for the dog to work. Diesel, look, it's just...
Lorna watches Diesel closely, waiting for any sign that he's detected drugs.
Trig, do you mind having a look in that for me, please?
Which one?
This one.
The sensitive nose of a drug dog can sometimes be alerted by a few tiny particles of cocaine innocently picked up by contamination. But today, Diesel seems unusually excited.
Hold on a minute. Sit.
The package has come from Venezuela, a known source of cocaine, which makes contamination seem the most likely cause of the dog indication.
It looks like we could have some personal effects. So it looks like a pair of trainers there, a couple of baseballs and a couple of items of clothing that actually look OK. They don't look to be anything suspicious about the clothing. I'll just obviously do a quick check of the shoes.
Disappointingly, the contents look innocent and have already been examined in Venezuela.
The Venezuelans, you can see, they tried to see if there's anything in them. It doesn't look like there has been. Have a look at a couple of baseballs.
Just as it looks like a false alarm, Duncan notices the stitching's been tampered with.
The actual stitching doesn't look too good on them. It looks pretty ordinary. It claims to be an official baseball, but if I try and undo the stitching a bit... You can see there on the end of the knife, actually, it looks like a white powder. That could possibly be cocaine in its powder form. Steve, have you got a test kit?
It's starting to look like Diesel's nose was right.
Okay. And then just try and dab a little bit of this solution on top. If you can see there, we've had a blue reaction on the actual filter paper, and that indicates presence of cocaine from the white powder.
Brilliant.
It looks like the dog's done pretty well.
Yay, well done, Diesel.
Lorna's delighted, and Diesel gets a well-earned reward.
Good boy. Yay, good lad, good it.
Yeah, very good work by the dogs. Nice indication that he's obviously they like playing with balls, so you're never quite sure whether he's actually indicating or not, just wants to play with the ball. But on this occasion, he's done very, very well.
Thanks to Diesel, another illegal shipment of cocaine will now be destroyed. Meanwhile, across in the South Terminal, a flight is just touching down from Kiev. This time it's prohibited meat products in suitcases that the UK border sniffer dogs are looking for.
The Kiev flight is normally pretty good, a lot of sort of sausages and cheese and things like that, and they just don't seem to understand that they're not allowed to bring it in. So sometimes it goes around the sort of local community quite quick, and sort of if you've hit a flight quite a bit, you'll see it sort of ease off a bit, but they still seem to be bringing it in. So
the EU has strict animal health rules, and it's the border officer's job to keep out any unregulated products.
Do you have food in here? Apple. Yeah. Wine. Anything else?
Fruit and wine are within EU regulations, but it's illicit meat that's off the menu.
Sausage. Yeah. Good boy. Thank you.
OK, madam, if you just come with me. Where have you travelled from today?
From
Kiev, OK. Are you travelling on your own?
With a number of health scares in recent years, EU rules have been tightened, which catches out a lot of passengers.
OK. You're not allowed to bring any meat products or any dairy products.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. You're not in any trouble, but you're not allowed to bring them in, so we have to take them from you. OK. Let's have a look in the bag.
Very good sausage.
Oh, I'm very sorry about that. Lots of people lose their sausages. She seems quite pleasant. She's not upset. She said it's good sausage. It's a shame she's lost it, but she's not upset. She hasn't moaned at me yet, so she'll just remember for next time. She's lost her money. She'll have to buy some English sausage now.
It's a small seizure, but importing products of an animal origin is a serious problem.
So that's 430 grams there. If you do bring meat in again, then you can get into trouble. Unlimited fine or imprisonment even. But I doubt that will happen with a bit of sausage. OK, thank you. We'll just put this one to one side and we'll go and get the next passenger.
And Jasper has now sniffed out a queue of passengers to be searched. In Manchester, an early morning flight from Paphos has just touched down. It's within the EU, so passengers are entitled to bring back as much tobacco as they like, as long as they aren't receiving any money.
I see you got some cigarettes there.
Yeah.
Who are they for?
Well, for me,
Yeah.
and my brother-in-laws who smoke the tobacco.
All right. Are they just giving you the price that you paid for over there?
Az is surprised by the woman's honesty.
She's already explained to me that she's going to get the cost price for some of the goods, which, as an EU traveller, is not permitted because those who aren't travelling aren't entitled to that privilege.
Az gives her another chance to explain.
Can you identify what you're actually giving away to your friend, family?
Well, yeah, obvious.
Is it just the gold leaf yours? Are you giving any of the tobacco away to anybody?
No, I'm going to start out on my own.
Have you ever rolled your own?
No.
So
You can buy machines.
you can?
I will give presents away as them, if that's
Yeah.
okay.
Are you saying to me that once you finish your cigarettes, you're going to start rolling?
No, I'll give
All right.
them as presents. Yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
them off.
No, I'm not going to take them out. I'm just trying to understand what you're saying to me.
The woman now says she'll give away the tobacco as presents, which is fine, but she's still making things difficult.
Is this all your luggage?
Yeah,
Did you pack everything yourself?
yeah,
Do you understand what you can and can't bring into the country? Like,
yeah.
you can't bring any controlled drugs like indecent, obscene
Now,
material,
well, I'll tell you, I
firearms.
have... Hurry up, just open
Yeah?
them
Do you
all
understand you
up.
can't bring them into the country?
Now, I've got 10 guns in there, 14
Okay,
sure
now-
Stop that shotgun.
I hope you haven't.
You can take them, I'm
Okay.
not really...
Right, well, I don't want to take them off you, okay?
Az tries again to help the woman keep her tobacco.
But what I need you to understand is that when you bring goods in for somebody else, I asked you a question. The question was, are you just getting the cost price for the goods?
Yeah.
And you said, yeah, right, which is nice, and it's nice to be
Interesting, this, please.
straightforward about it.
I do
However,
want now.
are you listening to what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Because they're not travelling with you, you can't receive any payment for the goods.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, well...
If
I'm
money
not-
is exchanged for these goods, that's not permitted.
I'm not selling them.
I know, but you're getting the cost price for the goods, aren't you?
No,
That's what you just said.
I didn't. I said they were presents.
Right. I asked you a question. I know what you said. You need to remember you can only bring in tobacco for yourselves.
Yourself.
Giving them away as gifts is not a problem. However, if you're getting cost price that you paid over there, that's not permitted.
Well, if I would have brought a lot more than that, wouldn't
Well,
I?
I don't know that. Just remember you
Sorry,
can't
Vic.
receive any. You can't receive
I
any
know.
payment.
I don't want
Do you know?
No one's got any money to pay me.
Finally, the message appears to have sunk in.
Quickest way out, straight down there, to the right, and then left. I asked her if she was receiving any payment for the goods. And she says, yes, she'll be receiving the cost price. She was a bit nervous, perhaps, coming back after such a long flight. Gave her the benefit of the doubt, because after a while she did change her story. She seemed happy by my decision. Hopefully she'll remember not to bring in goods for other people who aren't travelling with her.
Back in Gatwick, the animal products team are also dealing with passengers who claim not to understand customs regulations.
Cheers.
Many travellers can't resist the temptation of foreign meat products, but if it's non-EU, it's not coming in.
What food have you got in your bags? Fish and breadfruit. Okay, anything else?
No, just fish.
Any patties?
Oh, they're in my bag.
What flavour are they? Beef, okay. Okay, you just have to go with the officer, okay? Put some beef patties on the back of her
Okay,
trolley,
madam,
yeah.
just come with me. And the dog's indicated saying you've got some meat products? Yeah. You've got some beef patties, okay. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to bring any meat products into the UK. No, unfortunately not. It's the same as from all countries outside of the EU. You're not allowed to bring any meat products.
It seems she made the same mistake before.
Do you know what? Is this new, the patty one?
No. Oh, they should. Oh, well, maybe they haven't looked for the patties before, but if you got the vegetarian ones.
Oh my God, vegetarian is all right.
Yeah, because obviously there's no meat in a vegetarian patty, but anything containing meat's not allowed to be brought in.
Pete does his best to clarify the rules.
Well, you'll have to bring one fish. Does it say one fish?
No, you're allowed to bring in as many fish as you like now.
One fish, whatever weighs the highest.
Yes, so if your fish weighs more than 20 kilograms, you're not allowed to bring it in. That would be a big fish, so you'd have to have a real long suitcase to fit that in.
The woman is philosophical about her lost burgers.
You can't get them type of patties here. It's only English patties. They're not really tasty. Never mind. Next time I know.
Okay.
No more patties. You can't have patty. Look, this is what it says. Beef patty, none. That's what I signed for. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The woman leaves, marking the end of a busy shift for the meat team.
Well, people were smuggling in cheese and patties, which they shouldn't have been, but we've taken them from them. It's a good job we got the dog, because you can't always find them products without the dog sniffing for them, so it's good.
It's a large haul and will be added to the 200,000 kilos of animal products sniffed out by the border officers each year. The UK Border Agency is at war with smugglers in the ports and airports.
You don't have to say anything.
Get that out of my face.
Coming up, officers in Manchester get massively high hits of drugs.
I mean, that's about as high as it goes.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you've never ever been in contact with cocaine?
Where are you travelling from?
A cigarette smuggler gets aggressive when his stash is seized.
Move the camera, you understand? You carry on like that and you find yourself in a cell.
And officers face a string of lies in Dover.
No cigarette, I promise.
He's got his driver's laptop case. More cigarettes.
In Manchester, a flight has just landed from Jamaica. Sniffer dog Roddy is in operation on the hunt for any traces of cocaine. Roddy gives a clear indication on this passenger, and officers Liz and Kev step in to investigate.
You got a passport and ticket? Do you have a passport and ticket?
Yeah, travelling together, yeah. You want to come over here? I'll have a quick chat with you then.
With over 1,000 cocaine seizures a year, border officers know that cocaine smugglers come in all shapes and sizes.
How long you been away for?
A week.
You been before? No? What do you think of it?
It's nice.
Is this the same bag you took out with you?
Yep.
Okay.
The officers take the passports and swab for signs of drug use.
Just got traces, quite high traces of cocaine off a gentleman's passport, so I'll ask him if he's had any contact with drugs, if he's used at all, and take it from there. Just have a quick swab of your passport, see if there's any traces of drugs on it. And there is traces of drugs. Have you ever used anything?
No.
Ever smoked weed or ever used anything stronger than that?
Not smoke, no.
No? Never had any sort of contact with drugs ever?
Well, not that, no.
Right, okay.
The man clearly states he's had no contact with drugs, but officers know from experience not to believe everything they're told.
Yeah, I just found a very small trace of cocaine. I've been swabbing around in his jeans pockets and things like that, so it's only a small one, but it's still a trace.
Liz's job now is to work out if he's a user or a smuggler.
You sure you've never ever used or been in contact with cocaine?
Nope.
Okay. I mean, if you have, tell me now, because it's a lot easier. No? Okay. Just found a very small trace. You see I've been swabbing your clothes and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's come from your clothes, so...
With a bit more pressure, Kev's suspect begins to contradict himself.
Have you ever used drugs any time, even if it was a long time ago?
Yeah, I've used it before, yeah.
What have you used and how long ago?
Well, I don't want to discuss that because it's personal, you know what I mean?
Well, it's relevant to...
It's not relevant because I haven't got no drugs on me, so I don't answer that question.
I don't know that. All I can go off is the traces
You'll find no drugs.
that I'm getting.
Liz then swabs her passenger's suitcase, and the hit for cocaine is almost off the scale. The officers are now convinced the two suspects are carrying drugs.
That is out the bottom of your suitcase.
I don't know, it's like that.
I mean, that's about as high as it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah? So you're telling me you've never ever been in contact with cocaine?
Well, I've seen it. I've never had a lighter or nothing like that in my life.
No?
No.
I've done inside your bag. I've got, well, I'll show you. Cocaine high. It's a really, really high reading for cocaine from inside your bag.
Yeah.
Now, if you use it every now and then, I'm not bothered. I just need to know.
I didn't use it, that's what I'm trying to say to you.
But the officers need answers, or the search will need to go deeper.
At the end of the day, I need to know where the traces are coming from. If it's definitely not from you using,
Yeah.
I've got to think you might have something concealed on you or in you
You can
somewhere.
search me as much as you want, mate. I ain't got, that's what I'm told you. You can search, do whatever searches you want to do.
All
Not to hide.
Okay.
If I had something to hide, I wouldn't have said I'd made that with him and I walked straight off and I said no.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a fair comment. Yeah, all right.
But some background checks reveal that Kev's passenger has a criminal record for dealing heroin.
Stuff on CRO, supply heroin in 03. There is theft, kindred drugs going back 5 to 6 years.
The officers now have proof that at least one of them is lying. At Gatwick Airport, a courier shipment has just arrived at the freight terminal. It's up to the border officers to ensure that any hidden drugs don't make it onto the streets. Drugs dog Megan has been brought in to speed up the search.
We're just about to search some cargo from South America, or some DHL mail, from places like Colombia, Venezuela, things like that. So we're just waiting till they get all the stuff off the pallet, and then we'll let it go.
The sniffer dog's nose is 10 times as powerful as a human. But today, it's Officer Andres who spots a suspicious smell.
When I opened the box, there appeared to be a slight chemical odour coming from the box. Appears to be very heavy, this bag. There's all these unusual large buttons on them.
Highly suspicious, Andres calls in the expert.
Steve, do you want to just let the dog have a sniff of this?
Sure.
We're not trained to sniff it. It wouldn't be very good health and safety-wise.
Sniffing out smugglers is a job best left to the dogs, and Megan's indication on the buttons couldn't be any clearer.
Is that a good indication?
Yeah, that'll do.
But there's only one way to find out for certain.
Just make an incision, just see if there is anything in these buttons. We have seen it in buttons, yeah. They tend to put drugs in large buttons like these. Yeah, there appears to be a white powder inside there. I'll do a test on that just to make sure it is. Appears to have gone blue, indicating the presence of cocaine.
It's another hit for the freight team. With 3 bags all covered in huge buttons full of cocaine, it's a seizure worth tens of thousands of pounds.
This particular package is going to a private individual in Spain, so we'll inform the Spanish authorities and then they'll make a decision as to whether they want to do a controlled delivery on the premises or get a warrant to search the premises. Take it from there, really.
Nice job. Cheers, mate.
In Manchester, officers are still trying to find out why 2 passengers have triggered massively high readings for cocaine.
It's not something we're going to use. We're not going to go and tell the police this person's admitted doing this, that or the other. I just need to know why there's traces there. That's the only reason I keep asking you. I know you're probably getting fed up with it now, I keep asking the same questions, but I just need to know why there's traces there. That's pure, that's my job. I've got to, if I let you walk out of here with all these traces of coke and no explanation, my boss is going to say to me, well, you know, why have you done that? So that's the only reason I keep asking you.
Kev's suspect has admitted previous convictions for heroin dealing, but both suspects are adamant they've had no recent contact with cocaine.
I'm getting really high traces off the case, higher than I've had off anything else, you know what I mean? I don't know why, you know, like off the bottom, that's like from underneath the lining. But I've x-rayed it, there's nothing.
My guy's been done for dealing Class A, hasn't he, in the past? They probably just used him, might have been out there organising something.
Liz re-x-rays her passenger's suitcase for any hidden concealments.
How long have you had it, mate? Yeah. Just getting really, really massive hits. That's where I've had the biggest hits for cocaine, and there's nothing there. It doesn't weigh anything, so.
I've just swapped these debit cards and it's completely off scale, absolutely right to the top for coke.
The officers are getting frustrated with the evasive answers.
When was the last time you used coke?
Months ago, I can't remember.
Right. OK.
Kev's passenger has admitted using cocaine, but it's Liz's suspect who still says he's never touched drugs, despite all the evidence against him.
Yeah, because the dog indicated on you, I mean, that's the reason we stopped you. Want to be sure you've got nothing on you. We found traces of cocaine all over your baggage. You've denied use or contact with cocaine. You travel frequently. The trip was booked by somebody else. It's just one of our indicators. So the lads are just going to take you into a private room now and search you. All right.
Running out of possible causes, Liz examines his footwear. If he's a swallower, traces of drugs would seep into the shoe. But hits off the laces would suggest he's recently handled drugs while using.
And that's off his laces. You seen that off the laces? See, I've got a problem because I've really, really massive traces off your laces. There's nothing off, there's like a little trace, sort of like inside your shoes. Yeah. But off your laces, it's just like, it's almost all the bars again. It's like there's been loads of cocaine in contact. I mean, well, I mean, inside, but like I say, off your laces, I've never seen anything so high off laces. Obviously, the concern is you might have something internally. If we were to
scanner if you want.
You'd be all right with that, would you?
Yeah, I don't take no, and I have brought no, but
okay.
Jamaica a bit stupid this thing to bring somewhere.
Well, people do, yeah.
I know, but.
So what about a urine test? If we did a urine test, what would that show us?
What, my intestines?
A urine test, you know, like a pee test.
Oh, my pee test?
Yeah.
A bit of cannabis?
Bit of cannabis,
but... cannabis, yeah.
Yeah, it does show cannabis, yeah, but no cocaine.
No.
A baffled Liz has investigated the massive cocaine hits as far as she can. With no hard evidence, the men are free to go.
I'm not being funny, but you don't find one, what can you do?
All right. Go home and burn all your stuff and...
No, yeah, we've just been totally searched and they're saying I've got traces of cocaine in my laces in my shoes, but I don't have a clue where that could have come from. Cheers.
Thanks,
It's happened about 5 times before, so it's nothing new. But to find traces of cocaine in our shoelaces, that's a new one. But I don't know where the hell it could have come from.
Coming up, a cigarette smuggler gets aggressive in Manchester.
You got move the camera, but you understand?
You carry on like that and you find yourself in a cell.
Coming up, officers face a string of lies in Dover.
No cigarette. I'm from it. What have we got here then?
Got 14 cartons.
14? Oh, that's the result then.
At Manchester Airport, a flight has just arrived from Pakistan. Border Officer Richard is x-raying bags on the lookout for excessive quantities of cigarettes.
Looking at the screens, if you can see any cigarettes on these monitors here. There's quite a few in the bag, it'll look fairly obvious. On a flight like this, we expect to pull off anywhere from none to 20 bags full of cigarettes or partly full of cigarettes.
Passengers have a maximum of 200 cigarettes, and border officers like Az know to take nothing at face value.
There isn't any particular bag that will be specific to a type of smuggling. It's any type of bag is suspicious. We look at all types of bags, whether they could be more firm than others, then again they could be also quite soft. So it really doesn't matter on the type of bag.
OK, we've got one here which is more or less full of cigarettes.
And for people hoping to smuggle tobacco, the X-ray means there's nowhere to hide.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's at least 800 in that block there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 800 there. There's more lined up that way. There's more there. And this is similar, not as obvious, but there's looks like cigarettes there as well.
The bags go back on the belt as Az heads upstairs to see who will claim the suitcases.
Hi there, sir. Are you travelling alone?
Yeah.
Just a quick X-ray of your bags, please. Where are you travelling from? X-ray your bags this way, please.
Az starts with some simple questions.
These all your bags?
Yeah. All right.
Have you ever been stopped by customs before? Have you ever been stopped by customs before? All right. The way to do it is by answering the questions, all right? OK. Well, you're going to have to answer them. Go around and bring your bags over to the bench, please.
Officers often face angry passengers, and the man seems annoyed at being stopped.
Excuse me? Well, if you grab the suitcase, then come over to the bench, all right?
The man's already angry, but things are only going to get worse when he finds out Az will be seizing all his cigarettes. In Dover, officers have stopped 2 Bulgarian lorries. Each driver is allowed only 200 cigarettes, but a quick search found over 1,000 in one of the cabs. Suspecting they're hiding more, both lorries will now be searched.
This one over here is the one that she's got the cigarettes. He's got his girlfriend with him. Because we're travelling together, same company, we're going to do this one as well. Because this driver here, he declared no cigarettes either, just some cigars. How good is your English?
This man lied about not having any cigarettes. The other lorry driver is adamant he doesn't have any.
Chef, how many is in here?
In here?
Cigarettes, how many?
No cigarettes.
Sure?
No cigarettes. I'm promise. No cigarettes.
But when you know where to look, the driver's lie is easily exposed.
What have we got here then? Big Jake?
Says it's got 14 cartons.
14?
Yeah.
Same place? Oh no. Oh, that's the result then.
Stuffed into the cab lining are over 3,000 cigarettes. With massive profits to be made, drivers use every available space to hide cigarettes.
He's already lied once. He said he had no cigarettes at all. You see, we found 15 cartons of each carton's got 200, so that's 3,000 in total. You know, he's lied once, so we'll continue our search of the cab unit to see if there's any more cigarettes in there.
But some of this man's efforts to hide his cigarettes are laughable.
Have you got any more in here yet?
I'm on the front, I took all ones at the front.
Yeah.
Lifted up the bunk and it's got a rubbish concealment. Proper rubbish.
Is it?
It's just like little green plastic over it, something like that.
So there is more fags in there? Brilliant.
The officers suspect he's used the hidey hole before.
Oh dear.
Basically, all the food across the top, just that green plastic on top. Take that off, just green plastic and cigarettes underneath. Very simple. Not very complicated. He's just relied that he doesn't get stopped. And that's what he's got there.
With both lorry drivers having lied about not carrying any cigarettes, officers will be imposing a strict punishment.
But because he's used the unit to smuggle the cigarettes in, and as a punishment, he'll lose the cab unit. The only way he can get the cab unit back is he'll have to incur a fine. How we come to the figure of the fine is we work out how many cigarettes he's got, add them all up, and then we work out the duty on these cigarettes, what the duty would be equivalent in UK.
For the drivers, it's an expensive lesson. And it doesn't go down well. Back in Manchester, Officer Az is also dealing with strong language from his feisty passenger.
Do you have any photo ID travel documents?
Yeah, I do.
Can I see them, please? Can I see them? How long were you away for?
2 months.
All right. What was the purpose of your visit?
Family,
I'm sorry?
family business, innit?
Okay. I'm going to look inside your bags. Did you pack everything yourself?
Yeah, no, my uncle's.
Do you know what's inside the bags?
Clothes, innit?
All right. Has your uncle's packed it?
Yeah.
All right. Do you understand you can't bring any controlled drugs, indecent, obscene material, firearms into the country?
Yeah.
Do you know what your allowance for cigarettes are?
Huh?
Do you know what your allowance for cigarettes are?
Well, just do your job, mate.
Do you know what your allowance are?
Go on.
Have you got any cigarettes in here?
Yeah, I've got cigarettes in here.
How many have you got?
Tuna.
A tonner?
Yeah, tuna.
What's it, 20?
Yeah.
All right. Your allowance is only 200, okay? So you've got 20 sleeves. It's too many, okay?
Oh.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the man's mood changes.
Do you work at the moment? Excuse me.
Yeah, tell him to me
Look,
why is
look.
the camera on my face?
I'm going to do these bags,
yeah,
okay?
Tell the guy's a little
Right, well, there's no need to be like that.
Tell him to move then.
All right.
Little move the camera, but he understands.
Seen this here?
With the passenger getting aggressive, Officer Gary steps in.
What do I do now?
Do you want to read it here?
Yeah, go on, read
You
it.
threaten or intimidate the staff,
Yeah.
you could be arrested.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you carry on like that and you find yourself in a
Yeah.
cell.
All right, mate, no
So
problem.
you keep your mouth shut and let go of this, okay?
He was quite obstructive. He's not, I wouldn't say he's an easy passenger. He was quite obstructive.
So how much are you allowed? 200 or 400?
200. But because you haven't declared them,
200.
you won't be... Yeah, that's right.
But the man won't be leaving with his allowance.
You go over 200, you lose everything.
Yeah.
Once you exceed your allowance, you lose the right to an allowance. So therefore, today you'll be going home with no cigarettes. Do you understand that? No, that won't be going back.
What?
I'll just explain.
Allowed 200 or that's 200.
Just explained it to you.
That's 200.
Once you exceed your allowance, you lose the right.
Everything.
If you let me finish, you
What
lose.
age just on it?
The man has exceeded his allowance by 5,000 cigarettes. He's not best pleased he'll be leaving with none.
Yeah,
25
sleeves.
26.
26 sleeves.
26 sleeves.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, now, what I'm going to do, okay,
What you're going to do is what you're going to do.
I'm going to get some paperwork sorted out for you and get you going, all right?
Keep happy, mate. Be happy and that.
All right.
Az tries to educate the passenger so he doesn't make the same mistake again.
This is a receipt to say I've seized 5,200 cigarettes, yeah? I'm also giving you a warning letter. Remember about bringing in large amounts of cigarettes. Here's a copy for your records. This is, hang on, I haven't finished yet, your copy yet. Just premature there. That's for you, the original. Here, listen.
Come on.
You keep going away.
What do I need that for?
This is information about what you bring in, and there's a right to appeal as well. If you wait 2 minutes, you can get that as well.
The man is eager to leave,
Thanks for your time.
but if he doesn't want cigarettes seized from him again, he'll need to watch his step.
We get all kinds of people with all kinds of moods. Some people are quite happy and quite welcoming to our customs officer. Unfortunately, this wasn't one of them passengers, you know.
In Dover, the drivers who swore they had no cigarettes have been well and truly found out.
No cigarette.
And chef in here, no cigarettes?
No cigarette. I'm promise. I'm promise.
No thanks.
In all, officers find more than 10,000 cigarettes in this devious driver's cabin.
This is the trouble. Sometimes it can be quite a long, convoluted process because you have got to literally check everywhere. You can't rely on the drivers necessarily to tell you the truth at any point, which is a shame. But obviously, if we did start believing people, we probably wouldn't find it. So.
Smuggling cigarettes is a serious crime, and both drivers must now pay the UK duty on the entire amount. If not, their lorries will be seized and they'll be walking home. The first driver is forced to pay nearly £1,000 on the spot.
One of the vehicles has been successfully restored for £985. The other driver can't afford to pay. He says he's going to pay tomorrow, so therefore it's seized, stays in our care until he's paid. Simple as that.
When it comes to cigarette smuggling, officers don't mess around. The man will leave with no cigarettes and no lorry. The cash-strapped driver asked for a lift whilst making a desperate call to the bank. After a cosy night together, he's vowed to return in the morning to pay off his £1,800 fine. The UK Border Agency is at war with smugglers in the ports and airports.
You don't have to say anything. Get that out of my face.
Coming up, Martin uses charades to interrogate a suspect.
Who's that? So whether he's a recreational user or not, we can't establish anything at the moment because he can't speak English.
A duty-free fraudster gets caught in the act.
He was going out, apparently, just asking to borrow people's boarding cards.
He said, lend me your boarding card, I'll get you a pint.
And the dogs sniff out a suspiciously large amount of cash.
I was thinking of buying a card on there.
A car?
Yeah.
As a customs officer, OK, I can't always believe what people tell me.
In Gatwick's departure lounge, a passenger's been spotted buying tobacco with other people's boarding cards, and UK border officer Mike has been called in to investigate.
We've had a call from the duty-free shop that told us that someone has bought a large quantity of cigarettes and tobacco. So what people do is they get a couple of boarding cards or get someone else to buy the goods for them. Apparently they're sitting in the pub.
Anyone flying within the EU has a duty-free allowance of 200 cigarettes, but criminals steal boarding cards to non-EU countries like Turkey and illegally purchase thousands of cigarettes. It's known as carousel fraud.
Hey guys, how are you? I've just received information that you bought quite large quantities of cigarettes. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
Whereabouts are you off to today?
Turkey.
Turkey. Can I have a quick boarding pass, please?
But the man realises the game is up.
I'm lying, I'm going to Malta, he got on board this way.
Right, okay. Have you got a boarding pass for Malta?
Yeah.
Can I have a look at that there? Sorry.
Are you all flying to Malta?
No, they are going to Turkey.
OK. Can I see all your passports, please?
They now need to work out who's to blame.
No, it's just my harassment. We got a place out there. I mean, it's,
You can't buy them out there, no?
this is just a deal right there. It's to buy here. I mean, yeah, I know.
What we have been doing is they buy large quantities of cigarettes and then they evade controls by switching walking out domestic tours.
Oh, no.
And they're rebooking their flights.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, we're definitely need to make sure that you get on your plane with your cigarettes and that you don't just walk out the airport.
If you just wait there a minute.
But Mike suspects the culprit may have to be arrested.
Just need to make sure I leave with it.
No, he should be nicked for that.
Why should be nicked for it?
Because you're not allowed to buy them going within the EU, even if you're because he's taking them EU. We'll seize and report it because they fraudulently use these. Hello, can I just run this past you, please? You know we've just been called up to duty-free lounge. Some geezer has got his mates who are flying to Bodrum to buy him 4,000 fags, and he's flying on to Malta. And he's admitted he knows he's done wrong, but they're so expensive out there. He's got to come down, really, isn't he? All three of them, or seize and report, but it's an absolute offence, isn't it? Because it's a fraudulent. I think he'll need to come down. OK, if you collect your bag.
The two passengers flying to Turkey will be allowed to leave, but the carousel fraudster isn't going anywhere.
What you've done so far is an absolute offence, which means at the moment, time is 13:25. I'm placing you under arrest on the suspicion of being involved in the fraudulent evasion of excise goods. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm the defence if you do not mention when questioned something you may later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand that? OK, we're just going to go down to our customs suite now.
Am I going to make my flight today?
Not looking likely. What we're going to do, though, we're just going to take you downstairs.
OK.
We may seize the goods from you. We may need to ask you some more questions. At the moment, I can't say whether you will make your flight or not yet. All right. OK.
It may seem harsh for a few cigarettes, but the man has attempted to evade hundreds of pounds in tax. And if he's done it before, he may be going to jail. In Manchester, a flight from Paris has just arrived. border officers have intercepted some suspicious baggage which started its journey in South America.
Cocaine one.
These are in the name of Lopez.
Border officers are always on the lookout for anything suspicious. And it's the names on these bags that rang alarm bells.
It's just the fact that they're two similar cases with two different names, which smugglers have been known to use a method which we call the switch bag. They'll have two bags, one with drugs in and one just clean bag, depending on whether they get stopped or not. Depends which one they pick up.
The bags go back on the carousel.
Yes, then.
While Martin keeps watch to see who picks them up.
This way.
The officers now need to try and communicate with the passengers to find the source of the coke hit.
These bags, they belong to you? Yeah? One moment. The Spanish? No, Chilean.
There may be a language barrier, but there's some words the son seems to understand.
Cocaine, heroin? No. No, cocaine, heroin? No. This is your bag. Okay.
The officers decide to swab the son's belongings first. The suspicions about cocaine were correct. But often coke hits can be caused by personal use. And working out the cause here will be easier said than done.
Quite high hits of cocaine off the inside of the gentleman's bag. Unfortunately, because they're non-English speakers, we can't really question to establish anything about misuse or anything. So whether he's a recreational user or not, we can't establish anything at the moment because he can't speak English.
In Gatwick, the flight to Malta is about to depart, but one passenger looks increasingly unlikely to be there in time.
What duty-free said is that he was going out, apparently, just asking to borrow people's boarding cards so that he could buy cigarettes.
He said, lend me your boarding card.
And they said, yeah, what, mate?
I'll get you a pint. And that's what
he was in there.
Well, that's how it works on the boats going.
Of course it does, of course it does. That's what he's done. He don't know him. No way.
The cigarettes will definitely be seized, but the officers are waiting to hear back from the investigation team to find out if the man is going to be charged.
His flight's due at 15:30 departure time. Gate closes at 15:10. Obviously, depending on how official we need to be about it, is whether or not he misses his flight. Obviously, he's committed an offence, so if he misses his flight, that's his own problem.
As the fags get bagged, the news comes in that the man won't want to hear.
Unfortunately, I spoke to the investigation team. They do want us to take you down and they'll question you down there, OK? So we'll be moving in a couple of minutes.
With the illegal cigarette trade robbing over £1 billion a year from the Treasury, the man's crime is being taken seriously.
Hello, boss. Would you mind doing us a favour? Would you be able to contact British Airways and just say that he won't be making his flight? But it's just so that they don't hold the gate open and keep calling his name if he's not going to make it. All right? All right, lovely stuff.
The man is in serious trouble with the law, and his travel plans are in ruins.
Now, would you like somebody informed that you have been arrested and that you are here?
The thing is, she's in Malta. They're going to be waiting for me that end.
Doesn't matter where in the world.
I mean, it's just I don't want to scare her. I mean, can I speak to her or not?
You can indeed, yes.
Hello, darling. Is Mummy there a minute? Huh? Is she asleep? All right then. It's just the flight. There's a problem with the flight. It's
ring her later.
Yeah, I'll phone her later. The flight's been delayed. Tell Natalie not to leave to the airport until I phone her. There's an engine problem or something. I don't know, but leave Mummy asleep. Don't wake her up. All right then. Bye.
The man is locked up until the investigation officers arrive. They later charged him with evasion of excise duty, and he's now awaiting sentence. Back in Manchester, there's more family problems. Officers are trying to communicate with the family from Chile, whose bags gave large hits for cocaine. Martin decides to play an unusual game of charades to work out if the son has used any drugs whilst abroad.
Papa, Mama? Yeah, no. Who's there? Yeah. One time. Soon? Days? Yeah. Who's there? Once? Yeah.
Under pressure, the son admits using cocaine.
3 weeks. 2 weeks ago. Okay. It's okay, yeah.
Out of earshot of his parents, the son clears up the source of the coke hit.
Mama, Papa.
And Martin promises to keep the confession under wraps. And knowing the son has used, speeds up the search.
Could be in trouble with his mummy and daddy, yeah? Maybe not with us, but mummy and daddy.
It also makes it easier to rule the family out as smugglers.
Because the gentlemen have been cooperative with us, the family have been cooperative, there is no need to involve his mother and father. The guy's an adult. I also find people more truthful if you take them to one side, out of the presence of their parents. If I'd have managed to, if I'd have been able to ask that question directly in front of his parents, I don't think he would have been as honest. I asked him the question, have you used cocaine? He said he had once. I asked him how long ago, he said 2 to 3 weeks. And that is borne out by the presence of the traces in the areas we found.
Thank you. Adios.
Bye.
Coming up, the dogs sniff out a suspiciously large amount of cash.
I was thinking of buying a car down there.
A car?
Yeah.
As a customs officer, okay, I can't always believe what people tell me.
Coming up, the cash dog sniffs out a suspect.
I was thinking of buying a car down there.
A car?
Yeah.
As a customs officer, okay, I can't always believe what people tell me.
At Manchester Airport, a flight has just arrived from Pakistan. Officers are on the lookout for drug smugglers and have pulled over 2 men for a bag search.
Yeah, mate, just bring your bag down here for me.
Pakistan is a known source country for heroin, and officers conduct initial swab tests for any traces. There's been a recent surge of heroin seizures coming in from Pakistan. Surprisingly, Officer Gary gets a small hit for cocaine from his passenger's suitcase. Having got an initial trace, Gary swabs the man's clothes for any further hits.
He said he hasn't used for 3 months, but he's a regular user of cocaine, which will be here, which he uses the cocaine because it's not very accessible in Pakistan.
But this time, he gets an even bigger hit for heroin.
It's giving heroin hits. I need an explanation basically from where they're coming from.
It could take a while to get to the bottom of this one. In Gatwick's South Terminal, UK border officers are targeting a flight to Jamaica looking for money connected to crime using sniffer dog Toby.
Just lower your bag for me. Just a quick customs check.
Toby's job is to find large amounts of cash. Anything more than 1,000, and handler Mark will want to investigate further.
Hiya. Are you carrying any money with you today?
Yeah.
How much you roughly have with you?
I got about £10,000 in the bank. I should have.
£10,000. Do you have 10,000?
It's a lot of cash leaving the country, and Paul will now want some answers.
The dog has detected some currency, and you've said you're carrying about £10,000. Is that all your money?
Yeah.
Paul wants to know what the money is for.
I was thinking of buying a car down there.
The car that you're going to buy? Yeah, do you know what you're going to buy?
It's a Honda.
A Honda.
Yeah.
And how much are you going to spend on it?
I think it's about 2,200.
And you've got 10 grand there, though?
Yeah, but
The man's explanation becomes confusing.
it's about 1.5. 1.5.
What are you going to do with the rest?
Leave the bag alone.
Rest of the money, that's 2,500. 2,500?
No, the car cost 1.45 million.
How much are you going to spend on the car?
This card I'm trying to get it right. I'm trying to get it right for 1.3, 1.4.
Say again, say slowly.
I'm going to try and get it for like 1.3, 1.4 million.
Right, which in sterling, in English money, how much are you going to pay?
That would be like about 9,000 or something pounds.
9,000 for Honda. And how old would that be?
Huh?
How old would the car be?
About, I think it's at 2002.
And cars in Jamaica are very expensive to buy second-hand, aren't they? Yeah? So you're going to be prepared to spend like nearly £10,000 on a 2002 car?
Paul thinks the story sounds suspicious.
As a customs officer, I'm interested in, as I said, large amounts of currency that are leaving or entering the UK. You have a substantial amount of cash with you today. OK, that's the reason I'm taking so long with it.
As I said, but there's not going to be so much problem. I didn't have to take it with me.
Do you have any details of the car that you might want to buy with you?
No, it's an under, yeah? So, I think it's an under car, yeah? It has spoiled and everything in it. I don't have no details on it.
You don't have any. Could you provide those sort of details? Can you provide details of the bank loan to me?
If I can provide details,
yeah.
And the closest. Not now, this minute.
Not now, this minute.
The closest I could go to that.
Can I just see the money now I've searched the bags again? Huh? Can I just see the money again, please?
That's a different one.
How many's in here?
There is 5,000.
And the other one?
5,000.
Let's have a look. And the other?
2 bucks, sir.
How much have you got together? How much have you got altogether?
In these?
Yeah.
5.
10,000 altogether. Okay, what I need to do is you hold on to your money. Yeah. If you wait there, I've just got to do a couple of checks, okay?
If Paul thinks the cash has criminal connections, it will be seized, and the man's holiday could be over before it's begun.
They got 7 checks in bags, unfortunately, between them all. There's 3 of them travelling. The 10,000 belongs to the one person. It's from a consolidated loan. There's no documentation regarding the money, apart from the envelope it's in from a bank. Which says it's going to cost me about £500 a month to pay it back. To buy a car in Jamaica.
Buy a car?
Yeah.
So they got family over there?
He's Jamaican.
He lives there?
No, he lives here. He works here.
Why does he want to buy a car?
Because he's over there a lot.
With no evidence where the £10,000 came from, Toby may have helped find cash intended for drugs.
Have you done a P&C at all?
Paul wants to find out if the man has a criminal record, but with the flight now nearly ready to depart, time is running out.
How long before the gate closes?
Well, it's supposed to go at 5 past.
Right. Okay, got a few minutes.
I don't know, yeah.
Okay.
Back in Manchester, Officer Gary has found a high trace of heroin from a passenger's clothes who's travelled back from Pakistan.
Okay, now that, you seen me swabbing the inside of his shoe, and you've seen me swabbing the shoelaces. Right, obviously you've had them on your feet. How long have you had them?
About 8, 9 months.
Okay. Anybody else wear them? No, just me. Okay. Well, I've just swabbed the inside of them. When you're wearing these, you're going to sweat through your feet, and you're going to sweat through your paws and your hands, right? Now I'm getting heroin hits and cocaine hits. Quite a strong heroin hit from the soles of them shoes. You used to smoke heroin? Okay. So while you've been in possession of them shoes, you've smoked heroin before and cocaine? Okay. When was the last time you used heroin or cocaine?
About 2 or 3 months ago.
2 or 3 months ago.
I've been clean up to now.
You clean up to now. Are you registered heroin addict at all, or you have been? Yeah. Okay.
The man's honesty about personal use explains the hits. But officers have a duty to investigate his belongings further to ensure he's not smuggling drugs into the country.
Happy with that, I think.
But officers are convinced that he's not drug smuggling and he's free to go.
No one worried about anything, or worried obviously. I wouldn't be worried, I'd be sweating, you know what I mean? So I've got nothing to hide, so I'm alright.
In Gatwick, the flight to Jamaica is nearly fully boarded. But the passenger is still waiting to hear if he'll be allowed to leave with his £10,000.
Yes. So with your agreement, can I go ahead and seize it? OK, £12.55 for the seizure of the money.
It's not good news for the passenger.
I'm not satisfied what you've told me regarding the cash. OK, you're telling me it's come from a bank, but I don't know that.
It was withdrawn from Barclays Bank.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but listen to me. As a customs officer, OK, I can't always believe what people tell me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be a very good customs officer, would I?
Is there any other way you could prove it without...
I can't do it here this morning. I will be holding on to the money today. I will be seizing this cash, this £10,000. Yeah. You're not under arrest, and you're entitled to leave the UK and go on your holiday to Jamaica today, but you won't be taking the cash with you, OK? It doesn't mean that you won't be getting the cash back at some further stage. At the moment, I'll need to seize it for the purpose of the further investigation. OK? Will you be travelling on the flight today? OK. That's fine. He's going to travel, so he doesn't need to offload the bags. Yeah.
With just seconds to spare, the officers are now rushing to get the man on board.
£12.55.
But with 10 grand at stake, he wants to make sure all the paperwork is correct.
Do you want to get your flight?
Yeah, but at the end of the day...
You've got a few minutes before the gate closes, OK? This is the receipt for the seized cash. That means I am taking £10,000 from you today because I need further evidence from you to tell me where the cash has originated from and what the intended purpose is for. That's the reason I'm seizing the cash. OK, this is a receipt.
The flight is going in a couple of minutes.
Right, we signed it.
You really need to move.
Ask another question now, yeah? What is the difference now if I come through with 2 or 3 credit cards and still spend £10,000? Yeah?
Then you'd have been all right. A credit card has an audit trail. Cash doesn't. That's the problem.
Yeah, but then
if you want to catch your flight, you need to get
hassle, yeah? Everything is just paperwork. I didn't know you have to carry so much paperwork just to go to the airport. I think you just need a passport and don't carry the contraband.
Sir, listen. If you want to make your flight, you have to go on now.
If you even miss that flight, yeah, I don't even care because the insurance company still have to pay back my money.
Thank you.
I'm a loss of time.
The passenger's not happy, but he's made the flight, and it gives the cash team time to ensure the money doesn't have any links to crime.
With cash, he came across as pretty upfront about it. He was carrying the money, but I'm not satisfied with what the end use of the cash is for. We're particularly with bringing, not saying this gentleman would be the case, but with drugs. Drugs are so much cheaper to buy quantity-wise in Jamaica, and you could buy a lot of drugs for £10,000. I'm not sure that this man is totally involved in that, but people do. And obviously, if we can take the cash out at the beginning and do further checks, more the better.
The UK Border Agency is at war with smugglers in the ports and airports.
You don't have to say anything.
Get that out of my face.
Coming up, officers in Manchester meet a man who isn't making much sense.
Have you had a few drinks on the plane?
Yeah,
1 or 2.
Aye.
All right, OK, that explains a few things.
A cigarette smuggler in Gatwick is caught with his trousers down.
Now, you knew they were in there and you saw me put them back, but you still didn't tell me.
And when Gary questions a man on a student visa...
25, just make that up now.
Something doesn't add up. At Manchester Airport, a flight has just arrived from Dubai. Border officers and immigration have stopped a British man who's lost his passport. They've let him into the country, but want customs officers to speak to him.
He's turned up without a passport. He came off to Dubai. He's been drinking and he's arrogant, is the word they used. But I'm sure you'll be able to cope with that. 99152.
Thank you, Chief.
With the man's rather unusual behaviour, border officers in immigration have suggested searching his bags.
He didn't seem that drunk.
He looks completely out of it.
Yes, sir.
I want to go to Soidful, you know.
You want to go to?
Soidful, you know Soidful?
Salford. Yes.
Soidful, yeah.
Salford.
Yeah.
Right, well, first of all, you need to get out of here.
Yeah, right.
Do you have anything to declare?
What do you mean?
Do you need to speak? Sorry?
I need to any street? No.
No.
No, I don't.
Where have you arrived from?
I come from Dhaka.
Right.
Yeah.
Officers take the man aside for further questioning.
Where did you lose your passport?
In the airport.
In the airport in Dubai.
No, Dubai, or I don't know where.
You don't know where you've lost it.
Well, I did have it with me. You know, I don't know where.
Is it a British passport?
Right. Well, I'm going to look inside your bags and I'm going to ask you some questions. Are these all your bags here?
This one is mine.
Yeah, did you pack them yourself?
What?
Did you pack them all yourself?
Yeah.
Do you know what's inside the bags?
Yeah.
Has anyone given you anything to carry?
Anything? No, nothing too bad to carry.
Well, okay. Have you had a few drinks on the plane?
Yeah, 1 or 2.
1 or 2?
Aye.
All right, okay, that explains a few things.
I'm gonna lie, I'm not to lie.
All right.
You know.
What do you do? Do you work here or are you a student?
No, I'm no student, nothing. My family here, right? I just see my family here. Right?
Where is your home?
No. Flatley.
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 Like Michael Flatley.
No, it's called Flatley.
Flatley.
Yeah.
Which country is that?
It's in Bangladesh.
Right. In Bangladesh. So your home is in Bangladesh.
No, my home is in England.
Yeah, where in England is your home?
What, Manchester.
Right.
Right.
My family, my mom.
You went to Bangladesh to visit your family. And how long have you been away?
How long? I maybe 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
No, I mean 4 months.
4 months?
4 months, yeah. So how long?
It's a long time.
Yeah, quite long.
But what my colleague asked was,
right.
Do you work in Manchester?
Yeah, catering.
Catering?
Yeah. Aye. Catering, yeah. Catering was, yeah.
Even the simplest question seems too much for this passenger. It could be a long afternoon for the officers. At Gatwick Airport, a plane has just arrived from Nigeria. East Africa is a known source for Class A drug smuggling, and it's up to the UK border officers to stop and question any suspicious passengers.
Just put your bags on the bench for me, sir, please. Right. Just ask you a few questions first of all. OK, so you started your journey in Nigeria, is that right?
Lagos. Dubai to the UK.
Right, OK. And how long will you stay in England for?
I'm leaving at 7 p.m. this evening, 7:05.
OK, and where are you flying on to?
Netherlands, Amsterdam.
OK, and what's the reason for your trip to Amsterdam?
Vacation. I'm on vacation. I'm just traveling through Europe.
Do you have friends or family in Amsterdam?
No, I have hotel reservation.
And you're not travelling with anybody else?
Just me.
OK, what's your occupation in Nigeria?
IT consultant. I used to live in the US.
So from Amsterdam, then, where are you going?
Zurich.
You're going to Zurich? OK, so how long will you stay in Amsterdam for?
Just 1 day.
And then you'll fly on to Zurich?
Yes, and I take a train back to London.
How long will you stay in Zurich for?
1 day. I'm just traveling through Europe, that's it.
Hazel is alerted by the man's whistle-stop tour of Europe. Her suspicions are heightened when she finds a cheque for a substantial amount of money.
So who's Alex?
A friend of mine.
And is this 16,000 American dollars?
That's right.
OK, why are you writing him a cheque for 16,000 American dollars?
Because I owe him the money, and he's in the US, and I'm just mailing it from here to him in the US.
Hazel's not satisfied by the man's explanation, so the officers swab his suitcase for drugs.
There we go. It won't be 1 minute, OK, sir? Thank you. We're just going to see if there's been any contact with controlled drugs. The one that this machine tests for is cocaine or heroin. So there's a reading come up, a middle size or a medium reading for contact with both cocaine and heroin. Hazel, there was a 0.51 reading for contact with cocaine, yellow, so medium size, middle size.
OK.
Hazel confronts the man with the evidence.
The machine we have tests for traces of drugs, and what he's just told me is that there was a background trace for cocaine.
I've never used cocaine before.
Have you ever been near any drugs, or...?
Never
No?
touched it.
OK.
The man is adamant, but Hazel can't rule him out as a smuggler just yet.
He's got really hardly any luggage. His trip is for 7 days.
Yeah.
Have we ever had swallowers that have come in off the Dubai? We have, haven't we?
We have, yes.
Yeah. I'm going to take this further because I'm not happy with him at all. I'll get permission for a search, I think, and then put him through the body scan.
In Manchester, officers are still trying to get some sense out of the inebriated passenger.
OK, what's this then? This one?
No, nothing bad, but you
Right.
take it, man. It's all yours, man. You take it.
All right.
You're happy. No, I'm not, I don't mind. It's nothing bad.
Fruit?
Yeah, yeah, I use fruit, yeah.
Right, you know, you have too many cigarettes. Do you know that?
Too many cigarettes?
Yeah.
Oh, only 3 packs.
You're not allowed 3 packets. You're allowed an allowance of
I don't
200.
know, but this is my first time. I
Right.
swear to God, I don't know. This is my first time anyway.
OK.
The officers are used to dealing with all kinds and are satisfied this man has just had a bit too much to drink.
Then, aye.
I think because you've drunk too much.
No, I'm
I think no.
See, it does make me, giving me a hard time.
Right.
I never been, it's never, if I'm drunk, obviously, it's something bad. But
Right,
it's
no,
nothing
listen,
bad to
listen.
me. And why should...
Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay,
You've lost your passport, so you might lose these cigarettes. So I'm sticking them in here, OK?
And
but
put that
I
in
will
your...
appreciate it, yeah.
Don't lose that.
I'll never
Because
lose.
that's all you've got left, ID-wise. Put it in your pocket.
But you younger than me, but...
I'm younger than you.
Give me good lessons. And
I'm
I
younger
never
than you.
forget. No, I'm just saying.
Say that. I'm younger than you.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
The man is keen to explain how and why he lost his passport.
I have a nice flight, I have a passport, and I can't understand why. I got a passport with me, and someone saying, oh, I lost my passport, this, that, and passport is gone. So that makes me very bad. In the plane, they have drink. Obviously, I have a good time in the nice flight, you know.
Happy that he's heeded their warning, officers send him on his way.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay, thank you, sir.
To the left, to the left, and then right. Left and then right.
Okay.
Oh, watch yourself. He'd had a bit to drink, but he was a nice fella, I think. He had a bit of fruit and a few ciggies too many. I just hope he finds his way home.
Okay, sir, thank you, bye.
At Gatwick Airport, Hazel's still trying to verify the Nigerian man's story to work out why he's travelling with a cheque for thousands of dollars.
And what is it you owe this man the $16,000 for?
It's money he gave to me. It's in the US. I'm sending it back because I'm not traveling to the US. I said while I'm in the UK, I'll get a stamp, put it on it, and mail it to the US.
But why did you borrow the money from him?
Yeah, I'm a businessman. I just started my business. I need people to give me money to run my business.
I'm not completely happy with what he's telling me. And whether all this is just a smokescreen for the fact that he's bringing drugs here and he could have booked it and then cancelled it when he gets back, I don't know. Yeah. He's been very cooperative so far. I think he's likely to agree to a body scan. So if you're happy, I'd just like to put him through the machine. OK, sir. What I want to do, we've got one last thing we can do.
That's okay.
OK, and that is to just give you a quick X-ray.
The man is put through an X-ray to reveal whether he swallowed any packages. On examination of the images, it's clear the man has nothing inside him.
OK, that's fine, sir. Thank you very much for your time and your cooperation.
Despite the indicators, the man is innocent and free to go. And thanks to his cooperation, he leaves with plenty of time to catch his connecting flight. Coming up, a cigarette smuggler at Gatwick is caught with his trousers down.
Now, you knew they were in there and you saw me put them back, but you still didn't tell me.
Coming up, Gary questions a man on a student visa.
25, you just make that up now.
And something doesn't add up. At Gatwick Airport, it's rush hour as scores of holidaymakers arrive back from outside the EU. Husband and wife officers Paul and Hazel are bracing themselves for a busy night.
Hello, where have you just arrived from?
Turkey.
Cigarettes will be their main aim as they look to intercept passengers carrying more than 200.
Do you have anything in excess of your duty-free allowance?
1,800 bags.
Right, OK, you can only bring 200 back each.
And am I going to guess right in saying you've got more cigarettes than that one as well? OK.
So you could do my job, thank you. Is there another one? Thank you.
OK, I don't think I need to tell you, you know you're in the wrong.
If you're found to be in possession of excess revenue goods again, you could end up being prosecuted.
The tobacco seizures are already mounting up. The next flight in is from Moldova, and Hazel and Paul want to examine the bags before the passengers pick them up.
On this flight, it's been known that people bring in quite a lot of cigarettes. What's happened is there's only 27 passengers on this flight, so the bags have all been delivered, but there's no passengers in the reclaim at the moment, so the bags will be coming round again, so we'll have a second shot just to have a look at them outside.
It doesn't take long for Paul and Hazel to spot some dodgy bags, and Sarah finds some sneakily hidden cigarettes.
A few cigarettes. Obviously, we can see a couple of cartons here inside the suitcase, but there's also a few that I can feel under the lining here. We can just have a look in there. There's a few cigarettes under there. And also, in an effort to try and hide them, there's actually some that I can feel in the bottom of here. These are, I'll just hold them, a pair of waterproof trousers.
Paul heads back out to wait for the passenger to claim the bag with the green trousers.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Where have you arrived from?
From Republic of Moldova.
Moldova. OK, if you'd like to bring your bags in.
Paul reminds the man about the rules.
There's allowances with regard to cigarettes and tobacco. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
You understand it. And what do you understand those allowances to be?
I don't know.
You don't know? So it's 200 cigarettes.
But Paul knows he's got a lot more than 200.
OK, so you've got 600 there, which is 3 times what you're allowed. Yes?
Sorry?
It's 3 times what you're allowed for 600 cigarettes, yes?
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So you're over by 3. Yes? 3 times. 3 times the allowance, yes?
Yeah.
Have you got any other cigarettes or tobacco in here?
Yeah, I got a couple of more.
Couple more what?
Cigarettes.
Yeah, but how many?
Just 2.
Just those?
Yeah. Maybe more.
Maybe more?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me how many?
I don't know exactly. I bring this souvenir from my friend.
As a souvenir?
Yes.
I've never heard of a cigarette called a souvenir before.
Because it's too expensive. Yeah. They asked me for cigarettes.
So how many cigarettes have you got in total?
Maybe I got here cigarettes.
And you've hidden them inside the case? Why have you hidden them in the case?
They told me.
They told you to hide them. Why? Because you're not allowed to bring them?
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe you don't know. OK.
The man's being evasive, and he's yet to mention the cigarettes hidden in the waders. At Manchester Airport, a flight has just arrived from Pakistan. It's from outside the EU, so passengers here are also limited to just 200 cigarettes. But the X-ray identifies a pink box, which officers suspect is well over the allowance.
Before I even put it through, I thought the weight for the size is right as well, and the density is right. Right, let's go.
The box is put back on the belt, and Officer Az heads out to the reclaim area to see who picks it up.
Well, I'm going to X-ray your bags, OK? I'm going to X-ray your bags. So this way. Are you travelling alone?
Yeah.
And where is it you're travelling from?
A young man travelling by himself has claimed the box, and Az takes him in for further questioning.
It's bad news. Do you know what your allowance for cigarettes are? It's 200. 200 cigarettes, 1 sleeve of cigarettes. How many do you have?
9.
How many?
9.
9 sleeves. OK. I'm going to look inside all these bags now, OK? You still sticking with 9? All right, could you open this for me, please?
Having seen the X-ray for himself, Az knows he's carrying a lot more than 9 sleeves.
6 and 9.
Oh, so there's more than 9? Why didn't you say that right from the start?
The man realizes he's busted.
I'm going to seize these cigarettes because you're well over your allowance. That's all you're allowed. If you bring anything like this in, you need to declare them. You need to let the customs officer know that you've got more than 200.
But the 10,000 cigarettes will be seized, and he won't be selling them illegally on the UK black
They
market.
took money off you there. Who did?
As a matter of interest, how much did you pay for these? For like...
For all of them, it cost
No, just for what?
£2.
£2. You would have sold that for about 30.
Yeah, very easily.
But not this time.
The man leaves without his cigarettes, which will now be destroyed. Meanwhile, another passenger from Pakistan has been brought down by immigration officers. They suspect he's breached his student visa by working when he should have been studying.
Apparently the university or college papers that he's given to the officers, he thinks a little bit dodgy, so the immigration officers just has to go in the bags to see if there's any other documentation that backs his story up, basically.
Almost immediately, Gary finds the man's UK lorry driving licence. Unusual paperwork for a student.
Have you had a licence for a large goods vehicle? Do you drive for someone? No?
Well, we all like big lorries, don't we? But I don't necessarily want to pass the test. So why would you want to pass the test for? No, I understand that. But why would you want to learn to drive a big lorry in the UK unless you were working for somebody?
Convinced he's been working, Gary presses the man for details of his alleged university.
So in this college, what's the name of the college? Oxford. And how many people go to that college? 25, you just make that up now. And what's the names of the other people in the class? Roll me 5 off, starting now.
Louis, Sam, 3, Nate,
Go away, you're making this up. I'm going to give you 5 quicker names.
If the man wants to convince Gary, his answers will have to be better than that. In Gatwick, Officer Paul is still talking to the man from Moldova who's hidden cigarettes in his waterproof trousers.
Basically, you get a 200 cigarette allowance. Once you go over that allowance, you forfeit that allowance. So all the items that you brought in today are going to be seized, yeah? You understand that? And I think you knew it before, didn't you? That's why they were hidden.
Yeah, they told me.
As Paul finishes up his search of the man's bags, Officer Sarah takes him aside for a quick word.
If you check the feet of those very large waterproof trousers, there's some in the feet.
Oh, is there?
One's in the red bag.
Cheeky.
You might have to check the other one, because I think there might be another one in there.
Pop that one back up. Pop that one back up.
Sorry, what?
Bring it back up. Have you got cigarettes in the bottom of these?
I don't know.
You do know, don't you? Because you did it. So bring the other pair out.
This
Yes, yes, yes. Now, you knew they were in there and you saw me put them back, but you still didn't tell me, did you?
I don't remember, but...
I think you do remember quite clearly.
Oh, my...
Paul is far from impressed that the man has tried to deceive him. Hidden in the 2 pairs of trousers are over 200 cigarettes.
Now, is there anything else you want to tell me about?
No.
No? That's it, is it?
Check again.
It would have been just better if you'd have been honest with me at the beginning, yes?
In all, the man was trying to smuggle almost 3,000 cigarettes.
Yeah, I have to say, I don't know, I've never seen cigarettes packed like this before. This is the first time for me. He'd hidden them on advice from his friends, but I think he totally knew why he was hiding them. Your passport, and you're free to go.
Back in Manchester, Gary's team have almost finished searching the man suspected of breaching his student visa.
I mean, this just looks like a photocopy of something that's been made up. It doesn't even look convincing, does it?
And it doesn't look good.
Do you think he'll get laundered?
probably temporary admission to come back tomorrow with the rest of the proof that he's been studying.
And if he thinks you're onto him, he just wouldn't come back.
Well, I know, exactly.
And the fact that there's information in his bag about he's taken a HGV course in driving suggests to me that he's obviously possibly could be working.
Gary then finds some suspicious credit cards that cast further doubt on the man's credibility.
It's all a bit strange, but it's not a customs issue.
But the search has found no evidence of drugs, so the man is taken back up to the immigration area. He'll be given 24 hours to prove that he's returned to the UK to study, or he'll be removed. The UK Border Agency is at war with smugglers in the ports and airports.
You don't have to say anything.
Get that out of my face.
Coming up, Hazel stops a suspected drug mule.
Okay, but why would he pay for your flight ticket to England?
Because I wanted to come up and get the experience.
I want to go to the Caribbean, but nobody will buy me a ticket.
Liz gets abuse from an angry passenger.
I'm answering your questions. Oh, if you find anything, lock me up. If you don't find no, you head. This is taking the
And when drug dog Floyd gets wind of a powerful scent,
I have never seen an indication like it.
offers us pounds to stop him flushing his stash.
Excuse me, Doc. Just wait a second, please.
At Gatwick, a British Airways flight has just touched down from St. Lucia. In the last few weeks, cocaine seizures from St. Lucia have skyrocketed, and border officers have intensified efforts to make sure no smugglers slip through the net. As the passengers disembark, the officers are on the lookout for anyone who fits the many profiles of a smuggler. Drug dog Megan is a vital tool for finding smugglers.
Just keep on the right-hand side. Take your bag off your shoulders, please, sir.
Sometimes just the presence of a dog can make nervous smugglers give themselves away. Hazel notices the man in the white collared shirt.
There was one person he wasn't making eye contact with anybody because I spoke directly to him. So we'll have a quick word with him when he comes into the baggage hall and see if he's got anything. He's just in the queue there. He looked nervous.
And he's all dressed up.
Yeah.
The passenger appears uneasy as the sniffer dog examines his cases. But Megan doesn't give a definite indication. With their suspicions aroused, they decide to question him anyway.
Hello there, sir. You're travelling alone today? Yeah. Can you just bring your bag over to the bench for me, please? Can I see your passport and ticket, please, sir? And how long have you been away for this trip?
A week.
And what was the purpose of your vacation?
Either Jamaica or Trinidad.
Were you staying with friends over there or family or?
Well, not a girl. The last time I went to a cricket match there.
All right, so there's people you don't know over there? Yeah. Okay. And how long are you going to remain in the UK before you go back to Bermuda? 2 days.
I usually do some shopping.
Yeah. Okay. Have you got your return ticket back to Bermuda?
Actually, I have to try this.
You've still got to get that, have you?
I have a bank card this morning.
Yeah, not a problem. And whereabouts will you be staying while you're here in the UK?
I was going to go to a bed and breakfast up on Shepherd's Avenue. I usually go there. I don't know the exact name of it, but it's right after the police station on Shepherd's Bush.
So you've stayed there before, have you?
Yeah.
Okay. And you packed all the bags yourself?
Yeah.
And you're aware of the contents?
Yeah.
Has anybody given you anything to bring back to the UK?
No, sir.
You're not carrying anything for anyone?
No.
Okay.
Inside the suitcase, Gary spots a large number of shoes for such a short trip and decides to examine them closely.
All I'm doing here, I'm just x-raying the shoes to make sure there's no concealments in it. Ash.
The X-ray immediately finds an anomaly. The other officers are also convinced the shoes are hiding something.
That don't look right there. That difference in the
Yeah, but these other ones look
density.
even better.
But there's only one way to find out what's inside.
All right, lovely. Yes. Yeah. Where we pulled it open, and there's a package inside the seal.
It's game over for this attempted importation.
Okay.
And what looks like another big haul of cocaine from St. Lucia.
Right, the time is 09:16 hours, and what I found in there, it looks like I found a controlled drug, okay? So I'm arresting you on suspicion of the illegal importation of a controlled drug into the UK.
Under arrest, the man is transferred to the custody cells.
Okay, that's fine. Just pop round here again. I intercepted him in the Green Channel. A number of items of footwear have been found to have packages inside.
Do you understand that, what the officers told me? Yeah. So you've been arrested purely on suspicion of importing a controlled drug into the UK. Do you understand? Yeah. On any medication for anything? Nothing in your luggage for your medication-wise?
Just some weightlifting and stuff.
Bodybuilder, eh?
Well, I'm trying to be, I was trying to be.
The man seems to accept that the only thing he'll be exercising is his right to legal advice.
Okay, if you just come along with me. Yeah, if you could just remove your shoes and leave them outside, because obviously it's got the laces in it. The last thing we want is you to try and harm yourself with them.
And the officers are now about to discover just how much cocaine is hidden in the shoes. In Manchester, officers are dealing with a difficult customer.
You might want to just go and stand with Liz. Martin's in there as well, okay. Just the bloke who stopped us a bit arsey. Okay. I don't know whether there's anyone else in there, that's all.
The passenger has returned from the Caribbean.
I still got the keys outside.
It's a known source of cocaine.
Yeah, but why can't I tell her to come inside?
But he isn't making things easy for Liz.
Why did she go out before you?
Because I'm not asking you, I'm not answering your questions. Do your search. If you find anything, lock me up. If you don't find out, you're a bullshit.
The man can't believe he's a suspect, but he also can't seem to read the signs.
You're not going to believe this.
Excuse me, I've told you you can't use your phone. Excuse me, I've told you you can't use your phone.
Come inside.
She can't come inside.
Liz had a number of reasons for stopping the passenger, but now it's his behaviour that's causing the most concern.
You're going to pack them back up, yeah?
I am going to pack them.
Pack them back up properly, yeah?
I will pack them.
With the man getting more aggressive, the other officers keep an eye on the situation.
And because you're on TV, you think you're a professional, this is stupid. You're like I don't watch this thing all the time. What do you call it? Australian bomb.
The man seems confused about what country he's in. Meanwhile, Liz attempts to continue her search.
Can you get your dog?
No, doesn't find everything. I'm not just looking for drugs. I'm looking for anything else you shouldn't have.
Like what?
Like weapons,
excess
cigarettes.
Shut up.
Okay, what I'm doing now, we've got a machine that tests for traces of drugs. Have you ever used or been in contact with drugs?
I said, no, you've asked me the question already. I don't take drugs.
Right, okay, that's fine then.
Do your little swabs, whatever you want to do.
The man then accuses the officers of racism.
You always say it's random, it's bullshit. Like the guy said on TV, you're all racist. That's what it is. Stupid, it is racist. I didn't see one white person get stopped. No, but it has to be me in it. It's weird, that, isn't it?
We've stopped other people on this flight already today.
No, whatever.
You can believe me or not.
I won't believe you anyway.
No.
But it turns out the passenger has a reason for being annoyed at the delay.
This is taking the Why today? Do you know what day is today? My birthday. That's why I'm really off. I'm just gonna go home, enjoy my 21st, just like every other 21-year-old on the birthday, but to get stopped by custom on your birthday. Any other day, would it be, I'm not bothered.
Okay.
With the search over, the man decides to push his luck.
If you don't find what you're looking for, since you can't reimburse me for my taxi costs, I'd like an apology, a verbal apology. Is that okay? Is that much to ask?
I'm sorry if I'm wasting your time.
That's fine. Obviously it's not a good day because my birthday, what a shame, but you haven't found anything, so that's it really. It's annoying when you get picked out, but it's funny this one. On purpose.
Finally, Liz and the man seem to agree on something.
I am not doing 5-10 years. It's just not worth it. I'd rather just work like everybody else.
Some people do, unfortunately.
As the innocent passenger heads off, in Gatwick, the man caught with cocaine concealed in his shoes isn't so lucky.
Contemplating his fate.
It's sad, isn't it?
I don't know if sad's the right word. I never judge people. I think I can't judge them for what they do. I don't know what's led them to do what they've done. I don't agree with people bringing drugs into the country. I can never condone that, but I can't judge the person.
Hazel and Mike examine all the shoes for drugs.
And you can just see where somebody's inserted a tool into the side to prise the sole off the main part of the shoe. There's little indentations that just would arouse your suspicion and just make you think that they'd been taken apart previously. Did you notice that on there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought seeing any...
Oh, look, there's glue on this one. That's giving it
Oh,
away
yeah.
there. Look. That one's done really well. Just see the glue mark.
The concealments are sophisticated, but now the custody officer wants to know exactly what's inside the packages.
You know what's really annoying? You see a pair of shoes like that with a take-back package in the bottom with white powder in it, and they still insist everyone goes, have you tested it, have you tested it?
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to, do you? You know it's something dodgy.
OK. Put a drop of it in there. And that's the blue-pink reaction you're looking for, according to this. Pink on the top, blue underneath, that's cocaine. It's definitely cocaine.
Will you tell the custody officer it's positive?
I will do.
With 200 grams of cocaine in each shoe, in all, the man was charged with importing nearly 2 kilos of cocaine, worth around £80,000. Coming up, on the hunt for smugglers, drug dog Floyd gives the clearest indication of his career.
I've been in the airbridge with a dog, and I have never seen an indication like it.
Coming up, Hazel stops a suspected drug mule.
OK, but why would he pay for your flight ticket to England?
Because I wanted to come up and get the experience.
I want to go to the Caribbean, but nobody will buy me a ticket.
In Manchester, the Jamaica flight has just landed. Inside the terminal, sniffer dog Floyd is on duty with his handler, Susie. The dog team have been called in by Border Officer Martin to examine passengers as soon as they leave the aircraft, giving smugglers no time to ditch their drugs when they see the dog. Floyd is trained to indicate if he picks up even the tiniest trace of drugs. But this man with the red bag sends Floyd's signals into a frenzy. Martin heads into the baggage hall to intercept the suspect after he's collected his bags.
I was doing the airbridge with a dog, and I have never seen an indication like it.
Really?
Floyd was humping his leg, and I've never seen a hit like it, mate.
The man is travelling with a woman who suspiciously headed straight for the toilets.
The woman attempted to go to the toilets in the baggage area. Female officers accompanied her in there and explained the situation to her as well. She's now with the female officers in our baggage search area.
The suspects have split, but officers are keeping their distance from the man they think is carrying drugs.
Because of the strong indication by the dog, we are concerned that he's aware that we have an interest in him, and he may attempt to ditch any items he's got strapped to his body. For that reason, we would not let him go to the toilets by himself.
The suspect begins walking towards the exit, but then makes a break for the toilets.
Excuse me, mate. Excuse me, pal. Excuse me, wait a second, please, mate. Come over here, mate. What's actually happened? You know, because the dog showed interest on you, and you saw the dog around you.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm not saying you have, I'm not saying you haven't, but obviously we have to be sure before you go in the toilet you haven't got anything strapped to you, okay, mate?
After a string of recent drug jobs from the Caribbean and the strength of the dog indication, the officers are almost convinced the man is carrying drugs. In Gatwick, border officers are also on the lookout for a passenger who's just arrived from Jamaica. The intelligence unit have picked out the passenger as she fits a number of suspicious profiles.
We found her. She was very skinny. She's in blue patchy jeans. She's got a white top and a black handbag.
Hazel's team watch the suspect as she collects her bag and tries to leave.
Hello there, Customs. Where have you just arrived from?
Jamaica.
From Jamaica. Just bring your bags around here for me for a minute, please.
All Hazel knows is the intel team picked out the suspect. It's her job to investigate further.
Got your passport, please.
The woman has a British passport,
Thank you.
so Hazel starts with questions about her trip.
How long have you been to Jamaica for?
Repeat that, please.
Pardon?
Repeat that for me.
Oh, how long have you been to Jamaica for?
I've been living there for a while.
Oh, right.
My first visit here.
Ah, so you live in Jamaica. How long will you stay in England for? Who will you come and see?
My sister.
Do you have a Jamaican passport as well?
No, I don't.
But you live in Jamaica.
Right.
Did you pay for your flight ticket yourself?
No, I didn't.
Who paid for your ticket?
Someone up here.
Someone up here?
Right.
Who?
Um,
And who's he?
a friend of mine.
And why did he pay for your ticket?
Because I'm coming up to spend some time with him.
And how do you know him?
I met him through a friend.
And what does do for a job?
I guess we call it self-employed.
Hazel's unconvinced.
When did you last see him?
Earlier this year.
Okay, but why would he pay for your flight ticket to England?
Repeat that, please.
Why would he pay for your flight ticket to England?
Because I wanted to come up and get the experience.
I want to go to the Caribbean, but nobody will buy me a ticket.
Well, I don't know.
No? So you've just got £75? So who will give you money while you're here?
My sister and then...
And your sister does what for a job?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Suspecting she's a drug mule, Hazel presses the woman further.
So what will you do while you're here in England?
I'm not sure.
Is there anything in particular that you want to see while you're here?
Do a lot of sightseeing.
Yeah, things like what?
A friend that's here that I can catch up with and...
So what sort of things will you do while you're here?
I'm not too sure. It depends on what I can do by myself because I don't know the place. So.
Have you not done any research into England?
No.
And how are you eligible for a British passport?
My mother is British.
And does she live in England?
Well, she's not here at the moment. She's in Jamaica.
So who is it you live with?
I have parents.
So you live with your mum?
No, I live with my brother.
You live with your brother? Mm-hmm. Right, okay.
That's a body spray.
It is? But it's a man's one. Why have you got man's body
I
spray?
like it.
The suspect's story is ringing alarm bells.
I'm just going to do a few checks, OK? Should you just stay here for a few minutes?
Hazel decides to investigate the woman's acquaintance with the unusual name.
I just want to do a few checks on... Oh, good morning. I'd like a PNC check and an address check, please. Yeah, I don't think I've come across one before, so you might hit on something. The person that she says has bought her ticket, she doesn't know anything about him. She doesn't know how old he is. She's only known him for a year. I'm not entirely sure why he would pay for her ticket. People I've known longer than that won't buy me a ticket to the Caribbean, so I want to know why he's paid for her ticket.
The officers keep a close eye on the lady while they await the result of the police checks on the man who paid for her trip. Back in Manchester, the team are also on high alert after a powerful dog indication. Certain they'd caught a smuggler, the team pounced. But as they walk to collect his bags, the man gives Kevin some information that changes the mood.
A nice one. What?
$49,500.
What?
Booker.
Oh, excellent. Online or?
Online.
Yeah, brilliant, mate.
It's a disappointment for the team, but contact with so much cash would explain the dog's excitement.
High to low. Roller coaster morning already.
And you got money belt on as well? Yeah, it could well be that, you see, mate, because the dogs are trained on cash as well as drugs.
Yeah.
So close to where the dogs wouldn't you go in?
It's got $1,000.
So that might explain
Yeah.
why.
Wait.
The officers search the poker winner to verify his story, but there's no pleasing some people.
£30,000, a lot of money. Yeah. I was a bit disappointed, but 2 weeks later, it was only same competition, but I was trying to win it again.
At least you won it, though.
Yeah.
The man is free to go, but first officers ask a favour. They want to let sniffer dog Floyd re-find the man's money belt and get his well-earned reward.
Put it back, and you're just helping us out then. You know, helping with the training the dogs, and because obviously that's what the dogs indicate, so it's done his job well there.
Floyd quickly locates the cash in the man's belt, but this time it's just for training.
I was quite relaxed because I had nothing to hide. We went to Jamaica on holiday, but we weren't planning on going on holiday this year. We were planning to do a back garden up, and I split the money between the guy for the Ukraine. We had $50,000 each, roughly. And the next week we went in and booked a holiday to Jamaica. It was absolutely brilliant. And we went over there and we had a great time. Totally relaxing.
Celebrated our 6th year wedding
celebrated
anniversary.
our 6th wedding anniversary as well.
Last Saturday.
The lucky couple leave with the winnings, but sadly the officers didn't hit the jackpot.
Well done. Good lad. Best indication ever, mate.
Back in Gatwick's South Terminal, border officers are in the middle of questioning an intelligence target whose story aroused suspicions when it emerged her ticket had been bought for her. Suspecting she may be a drug mule, Hazel is investigating the person who paid for the ticket.
Oh, right, OK. He was found guilty in 2007 of helping an asylum seeker. He got 9 months in prison, but he was born in 1949 and she doesn't seem to know how old this bloke is. And she's clearly not an asylum seeker because she's got a British passport. Right, OK, well, thanks very much for your help. Thanks a lot, then. Bye. The only thing we've got, then, is that he has been convicted of helping an asylum seeker, but clearly that's not her concern because she's got a British passport.
It's surprising news,
Sorry to keep you waiting. It was just taking some time to do some checks.
but an exhaustive drug search found nothing.
It's fine. OK, well, that's fine. Thank you very much for your time.
OK.
Enjoy your stay in England. Thank you.
To win the war on drugs, border officers must investigate any suspicious passengers. But thankfully, most are innocent and are free to go. The smuggler caught with cocaine hidden in shoes pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 5 years in prison.